Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft and I mock and giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. And today we got a special one. Y'all let me know in the comment section that Bengals got a new mock out and it's interesting. So we're going to take a look at that today. I went ahead and watched the video. Do I remember all his picks? Not necessarily, but nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and take a look. I love looking at different perspectives in the draft because, let's be honest, the draft's going to go not how we expected for the most part, and it's fun looking at other perspectives and just opening up our mind to different possibilities. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I look forward to hearing from y'all, and I try to reply to what I can. But there's been a lot of comments, so I try to get through them. Let's go ahead. Let's switch over here. If you didn't know, now you know. All merchandise on broshmoshop.com is 25% off. Use the promo code ALLBRO25, all caps, ALLBRO25 to get that 25% off. It's all bro 25 because, well, Christmas. It's on the 25th. But look, there's Bengal's pretty face. Let's go ahead and let's start this sucker off. He doesn't do anything too crazy, too different. He goes with Aiden Hutchinson to the Lions. A lot of people are mocking it that way. Aiden Hutchinson, he's the hot name. Here he is, number 1 overall. Sus quarterback class. Makes sense to go with the top prospect. No trades in this, by the way. No trades. And then at number 2, he goes with Kayvon Thibodeaux. Again, you got Aiden Hutchinson and Thibodeaux. It's kind of like 1A, 1B. It's really whoever you feel fits your scheme, fits your defense. And then the Jaguars will just take whoever the Lions don't. So they go with that there. Again, also to be expected. Let's keep going, see what he has in store for the Houston Texans. And this is where I'm like, holy moly, we got 3 edges flying off the board. George Karlaftis going to the Texans. I understand this from a point, or I understand this like Kyle Hamilton, safety 3. I know that doesn't sound great. How involved are safeties really in the game, you know? And it's not like the Texans, I think, got 2 solid safeties there in house. I think Evan Neal would make a lot of sense here. Maybe a little bit more sense. Karlaftis, I don't know if he's necessarily, like, I feel better about him. Maybe closer to that 10th overall pick. Kind of hesitant. Is he a top 10 talent? Here in top 3, you know, that's kind of crazy. I'd rather go with one of my top 10 prospects. You can make a case for Derek Stingley, but the ankle injuries over the course of his career, that's something that needs to be checked out. So I understand the hesitancy of wanting to take a guy like Stingley. But Karlaftis, this is a spicy take. A spicy meatball. Let's keep this sucker rolling. He goes with Evan Neal, the Jets. Makes a ton of sense. Joe Douglas, he loves himself some trench boys. And Evan Neal, it's a big trench boy, a guy that can play on the right or left side. He at least has experience doing both. And then let's keep going. We could probably jump a couple with the Giants picks. Yeah, so he goes to Ken McWanu. Icky makes a ton of sense. I'm glad to see someone as high on Icky as I am. So yeah, Giants, they need help on the line. And then I think he explains his Kyle Hamilton pick pretty well. Because like I feel like I was a bit harsh. Not really that harsh. I'm pretty understanding when it comes to this. You know, I call it mock the mock. But again, I really appreciate different perspectives. And I don't mind hot takes. I make plenty. Russell Wilson. I keep bringing it up. I know. I keep bringing it up. But let's be honest. That Russell Wilson trade in my mock last week, it was a hot take. But Kyle Hamilton, Peppers, he's a free agent after this season. Okay, Logan Ryan, he's a bit of an older guy. That's why he made the move from corner to safety. Makes a ton of sense. So getting maybe someone to pair up for McKinney for the future and just going ahead and being like, let's take blue chip talent with this pick. Let's not maybe reach on the 4th edge on the board. I mean, I think Tyler Linderbaum's still a wonderful option here. Quarterback, again, the quarterback class is sauce. So Kyle Hamilton actually does make a ton of sense. So I'm sorry, Austin Gale. I did you dirty. And then I think this is Derek Stingley. I believe this is Derek Stingley. Yeah, he goes Derek Stingley. Makes a ton of sense. Just getting more players, more talent in that cornerback room, I think makes a world of difference. Then the Carolina Panthers. I can't remember if he goes tackle or quarterback, but I think it's one of the two. He goes quarterback. He takes Matt Corral. I get it. It's not sexy having Cam Newton and was it PJ Walker and Sam Darnold, of all people, here as your quarterback. So getting some maybe fresh blood there would be nice, especially if it's the quarterback of your choosing. This is the first quarterback off the board. He's coming into a pretty crappy situation with the offensive line, and it's not like the Panthers have picks that can really get more talent on there. Whatever they do is going to have to be in free agency. So, like, I don't mind it. I mean, look at what the Dolphins have done with Tua when it came to being behind a very lackluster, very inexperienced, a very bad offensive line. They're making it work. They're getting the ball out fast. I mean, you could do the same thing with Corral, and I don't know if Corral's necessarily, a guy you can start early, but if you're going to run an RPO-heavy offense to out the get-go to kind of mitigate the offensive line's woes, then I think it could work. I mean, it's essentially kind of a 1-2 read system running that RPO. So, I think that kind of works out. So, I don't mind. So far, I'm kind of on board with Bengal. Let's see what he does for Atlanta. He goes with David Ojabo. I've been saying pressure. There ain't none of it in Atlanta. They could use more pressure. I've kind of opened up my mind to Atlanta maybe taking a receiver at this point, especially with they have no playmakers at receiver. Kyle Pitts, that's your best playmaker, and he's great. He's great. He's a mismatch nightmare. The problem is when you have no other firepower at the receiver position, it makes it a bit tougher to kind of draw attention. You're not going to be able to draw attention away from Kyle Pitts. So I'm starting to open up my mind to that a wide receiver potentially be taken here, but I love the athleticism of Ojabo. I think Ojabo, he might be a bit more of a project, a guy that maybe takes a year or two to really come out and be this elite menace that we saw from the Vikings Hunter, took him a couple of seasons. And I think maybe he might be to the same vein as Ojabo. So I like the pick. I think you get pressure. I'm right now with Atlanta. I'm edge. I'm receiver. Those are kind of where I want to go with Atlanta. So let's see what he does for the Eagles with back-to-back picks. He goes Andrew Booth with one. That's his second cornerback off the board. And then he goes with Garrett Wilson. We'll get to the other pick in a minute for the Vikings, but Booth, I think Booth's going to really have this big rise just because he's going to test out like a freak. He came on really hot during the last 3 or 4 games of the season for Clemson. So, I mean, again, recency bias happens a lot when it comes to these mocks, and especially when a guy's going to test out well. Yeah, I don't blame people for having Booth pretty high. Garrett Wilson, I like the idea of getting a Garrett Wilson. I think maybe a Jameson Williams would maybe complement Hurts a bit more. But I mean, it's not like Wilson's a guy that can't win downfield. This is a guy, he can. He certainly can. He is a separator. He's great after the catch as well. So, yeah, I don't mind that. I like that. I like this. Tyler Linderbaum, though, this is probably the one area I was like, I love Linderbaum. I love the pick. I do think he's an upgrade over Bradbury. But especially if the Vikings end up cleaning house in terms of their coaching staff, I think I wouldn't want a center being the first pick of the new coach, basically the new people involved. I don't want a center being my first pick. Maybe something a bit more appealing. Maybe going with the cornerback position. Maybe going receiver. Maybe going edge. One of those. They're just more valuable too. It's just more valuable positions. So I don't hate this pick. Don't get me wrong. I really do love Tyler Linderbaum, but I think, especially if it's a new coaching staff in place, you want kind of a bigger swing for the fences rather than, this sack fly. So let's see what this. I think he does the same thing I've been doing with the Saints, grabbing a burner. He goes with Jameson Williams. It just makes a ton of sense. Las Vegas Raiders. I can't remember what he does with the Raiders. Kenyon Green. Okay, this again another pick that makes a ton of sense, I think. Because Kenyon Green, he could play a variety of different roles. He could play on the left side, he could play on the right side, whether it's tackle or guard. So he gives this offensive line a lot of versatility. Well, it maybe is Leatherwood maybe a better guard. Maybe you kick him into guard. And even if that doesn't work, like Green's a guy that can play guard. So, yeah, this is a bit of a safer pick, but I do like the pick a lot. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this is quarterback. Kenny Pickett going to Pittsburgh. Oh, my goodness. The hometown boy. He's here to be our quarterback of the future. It's kind of a dream scenario, I guess. Denver Broncos probably go quarterback as well, right? Desmond Ridder, that's right. I think he said he was trying to flip things up, kind of mix them up. And he goes with Ridder, a guy with a ton of upside. But he even Bengal brings up the accuracy concerns, which is a big reason why he's not touching my first round. If you're not new to the channel, there's a bit of a Desmond Ridder bias here. I'm not a Ridder guy. He's not going to sniff my first round. If he has a banger Senior Bowl, yes, I'm willing to change things. I'm willing to change my mind. I'm not a guy that's like, oh, no, I'm right about this. I'm right all the time. I will try to rationalize my opinion. But if I feel like I'm wrong, I'm willing to admit I'm wrong, and I'm willing to change my opinion on that. It's football. Things change all the time. I'm allowed to change my opinion. I'm allowed to admit that I've been wrong. But Ridder, for me, is until the Senior Bowl happens, not happening. So I disagree with Bengal here. But, again, Bengal also admitted, where he's not high on Ridder. And, again, he kind of mixing things up. Sometimes you got to mix up things just for the sake of mixing up things, just to kind of showcase different possibilities. So I don't mind. Let's see. We got Charles Cross going to the Bengals. I love this. Cross, wonderful prospect. Probably should go in the top 10. I think he is a top 10 prospect. He is everything I wanted Zion Nelson to be for the Hurricanes. Didn't happen that way. But Cross, I think he's going to be, I think this is a good pickup for the Bengals, man. Improve the line, help Burrow out. Again, you could go corner here. I like the idea of corner, like a Trent McDuffie would be nice, but I'm not opposed to Cross. So there's not a lot I disagree with right now in this draft. Like, obviously, Houston, Karlaftis, kind of I don't know about that, but maybe the Tyler Linderbaum pick, but I don't hate it because I love Tyler Linderbaum so much. Obviously, Desmond Ridder, but again, mixing up things for the sake of mixing up things. The Cleveland Browns. Is this wide receiver? Yeah, Treylon Burks. He goes with a little bit of help for Baker in what is likely probably Baker's either swan song or, hey, I am the franchise quarterback. So yeah, let's give him some help. Let's give Baker no excuses. If it doesn't work out in 2022, then, well, I guess we're looking for a new franchise quarterback. Malik Willis going to the Washington football team. A guy, he's probably going to sit behind Heineke for the first year. So this is fine. You're looking to the future. Malik Willis has a ton of upside, probably the most upside of any other quarterback in this class. What are we doing with the Buffalo Bills? DeMarvin Leal. So I don't like this pick a lot. I love DeMarvin Leal. This is about the range I'm probably going to take him at. Depends how you see him. Do you see him as an edge? Do you see him as an interior guy? But if you are seeing him as an interior guy, he's not the interior guy for the Bills. You want to find a more meatier run defender, because their run defense is horrible. And I'm not saying that because of the New England game. There were a lot of circumstances why that game went the way it did. But overall, they just haven't been able to stop anybody's run game. And at least Davis, he has this pass rushing upside, even for a big run defender. But Leal, like, he's wonderful, but he's the guy that has that pass rushing upside. As a run defender, I'm kind of like, it is what it is, but like, I value him higher than a guy like Davis because of that ability as a pass rusher, ability to kick to the outside, the versatility, but it's just not what the Bills need. What do you do with the Eagles here? I mean, honestly, Bills, you could probably go with a linebacker as well. Because I've been saying for like the last few years now, Tremaine Edmonds? He ain't it. Travon Walker going to the Eagles. I like this is a guy that does have interior versatility. He's a bit on the raw side, simply just because that he doesn't have a lot of snaps to his name. You would like to probably see maybe double the snaps that he currently has there at Georgia. He is a bit raw as a pass rusher, but the physical tools are immense. The physical traits are immense. And yeah, no, he is definitely a Eagles type of edge rusher. What do you do for my Dolphins? I'm curious. I can't remember. Devin Lloyd. I know a lot of Dolphins fans in my comment section will like this pick a lot. Receiver, it flew off the board. I'm kind of in the camp of Dolphins going receiver. I'm not in the camp of the Dolphins drafting an offensive lineman early, unless it's one of the four guys I kind of consider blue chip talents on the offensive line. I don't want to get younger and more inexperienced. I don't think that helps Tua. So Devin Lloyd's actually a wonderful pick. He's a good complement to Jerome Baker, who's more of this coverage guy. While Lloyd, he's a guy that can rush the passer, whether it's off the blitz or off the edge. He's a guy that will be a very good run defender, great length. So, honestly, you could just dip or dump him down there in the hole as a coverage guy, because that wingspan's gonna block a lot of passing lanes. So, yeah, no, I like this, especially with how the board's kind of fallen. Let's go to the Chargers. I think this is Jordan Davis. Yes, it is. Chargers, the run defense, it sucks. It's not good. You get a good run defender here in Jordan Davis with a little bit of pass rushing upside. The dude's so imposing for his size. The Detroit Lions. Daxton Hill. All right, yeah, that's right. I was listening for this. Because he is a guy that I think can be a great center fielder. Like, he's a guy that has just crazy range. Michigan, using him in the slot almost primarily this past season, I thought really did a disservice to what he can do. Just this cat's a good, but he's got that slot capability. Do we address secondary? I mean, what are the receivers we'd be looking here? Chris Olave would be fun. So, Daxton Hill's an interesting pick. I'll say that. What do we got for the Ravens? Trevor Pennon, again, he's kind of like a very good fit for the Ravens run defense, blocking scheme. There we go. This guy is a big, mean run blocker. I think he's going to really show out at the Senior Bowl. I'm not letting him put him in the first round yet, just because of that. I first want to see him at the Senior Bowl. But he does have tape against a guy like Will McDonald, where he played him exceptionally well. But this feels like he feels like a Baltimore Raven. So I don't mind the scheme fit one bit. What do you do for the Cowboys? Oh man, the anticipations are killing me. I'm gonna have to take a sip of water. All right. I'm just gonna jump ahead. Roger McCreary makes a ton of sense. He's actually very similar to a Trevon Diggs, but he comes in, he can play that nice press defense that Dan Quinn loves to play. He's a very smart, very savvy corner. So I think he's a good fit here. Sauce still on the board. Elam's still on the board. Trent McDuffie, a lot of good corners still left on the board. I think he goes Kingsley and Agbar with this pick. Yeah, let's be honest. This is probably the range he goes in. I mean, quite frankly, I could see Enagbari falling out of the first round, just because it sounds like the draft community is not high on him, man. I don't get it, man. I love this cat. I will guarantee you will not find someone as high on Kingsley Enagbari as I am. I see this guy as a top 20, top 5, potentially 15 prospect in this class. I'm a big fan. I would put him in the tier of David Ajabo and George Karlaftis, who, by the way, went in the top 10 in this draft. So, yeah, no, I'm a big fan of this cat. I think Chris Olave goes to the Packers. Yes, he does. Great pick. He falls to the Packers. Packers, hey, if a receiver falls to you, you take him, because I imagine Devontae Adams isn't with the team after this season. So, yeah, no, I like that pick. Hey, by the way, subscribe to Broshmo, and Nakobe Dean is the next pick off of the board. Not bad, not bad. Getting him to play alongside David Long, who's been pretty good this year. They do have Monty Rice, but keep in mind, Nakobe Dean, last season, not this season, but the season before, actually took Monty Rice's starting spot. So, yeah, I don't mind grabbing a guy if it's essentially an upgrade over someone I drafted the previous year. But I mean, they're gonna lose Jayon Brown, they're gonna lose Rashaan Evans, which good riddance. So yeah, it's not a sexy pick, but it's a good pick. It's a good pick. What does he do for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Jahan Dotson, I get it. AB's going. And what? Chris Godwin likely not coming back. He's on the franchise tag. So they grab Dotson, who you might be like, oh, they got Jalen Darden. Jalen Darden was a 4th rounder, though. Dotson, a guy who has experience on the outside and has played exceptionally well on the outside, sneaks into the 1st round here, so not bad. I mean, Sauce is still on the board. I mean, I might be grabbing a corner just because we've seen how important cornerback depth is. And they got a guy like Carlton Davis, who is, I think, a free agent this year, if not next. New England Patriots, I imagine they go Sauce. They go Sauce. Yeah, Sauce cannot. I don't think he falls this far. Unless, like, Jameson Williams has a field day with him, I don't see him falling this far. Now, let's see who the final... But it's a great pick by New England if he does. Who is the final pick? Arizona Cardinals. They go Jermaine Johnson. This dude's big. Honestly, he's similar to Chandler Jones if they lose Chandler Jones. I went with Drake Jackson, who is a guy who's a bit more athletic. He won't be as physical as like a Chandler Jones or as a Jermaine Johnson, but again, this edge class, we're going to see it in a lot of different ways. So I think this is an interesting pick, and definitely a guy that probably needs to be highlighted more. It's just a shame that this edge class is so deep. But overall, I didn't mind this mock. Sauce going that far down, it puzzles me. Trent McDuffie not going at all kind of puzzles me. But I get it. Good players fall in the draft, so it makes sense. What picks did I... Daxton Hill, I mean, you can leave it or take it. I don't mind it. But what other picks was I like, ugh. Leal, but I like Leal a lot. You know, I think I'm trying to think. Yeah, honestly, the Karlaftis pick at 3 I thought was a bit puzzling. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. I always look forward to hearing from you, so let me hear from you. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.